Do you ever feel like one side of your hip is always tight? No matter how much you stretch it? You've done the hip flexor stretches, foam rolling, maybe even some massage. And sure, it feels better for a bit, then it's right back the next day. Maybe one leg feels longer, your hips feel uneven, or something just feels off and you can't quite figure out why. I got a message from someone who said, and this might sound familiar, my right hip flexor is tight and pinchy, my right leg feels longer, and my pelvis seems rotated forward on that side. I've tried everything, but nothing helps. This kind of thing is way more common than people realize. But here's the deal. If all you're doing is stretching that tight hip, you're chasing the symptom, not the cause. And if your pelvis is out of alignment, it's usually not because your hip flexors are the problem. It's because your body doesn't feel stable. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through a 3-step system to help you realign your pelvis, rebalance your hips, and finally get out of that nagging tightness. It's a stability first approach, and most people have never seen it, but it works. When your pelvis tilts forward on just one side, like Carlos described, it messes with your whole lower body. You'll feel one hip get tight, one leg might feel longer, and suddenly your movement feels completely out of sync. Here's what's actually happening. When that right side shifts forward, the hip flexor stays stuck short. The right glute can't fire the way it's supposed to, and the core, it stops stabilizing that side. So your body does what it always does. It compensates. It rotates the pelvis, shifts weight to one side, and starts borrowing stability from your low back or your knee. And now it's not just a hip issue. Your whole system is out of balance. Even worse, your brain knows something isn't right. So it tightens things up even more to protect you. That's why stretching doesn't work. Your nervous system doesn't feel safe yet, and it's not going to let go until it does. So if you've been stretching and still feel stuck, it doesn't mean you're broken. It just means you haven't fixed the real problem yet. Stretching feels good, no doubt about that. But if your body doesn't feel stable, that tightness is just gonna come back. Here's why. When your brain senses instability, especially around the pelvis or spine, it throws on the brakes. It adds tension to protect you. It's like your body pulling the emergency brake. So you stretch your hip flexor, but your nervous system's still going, nope, not letting go. And that's the cycle that most people get stuck in. They keep chasing the tightness instead of fixing what's causing it, which is usually a lack of control, a lack of coordination, and a lack of stability. If you actually want lasting change, you've got to build that stability, especially through your hips, your core, and your pelvis, so your body finally feels safe enough to release the tension on its own. So let's break down the exact 3-step system I use with clients to do just that and help them move pain-free again. All right, here's the part that actually gets you results. We're gonna go through 3 key steps to reset your pelvis, rebuild your stability, and then lock it in through real movement. Step 1, reset the pelvis. We start on the ground where you can take gravity out of the equation. Just focus on getting your pelvis into a better position. One of my go-to drills here is the 90-90 hip lift with balloon breathing. You'll feel your hamstrings kick in, your pelvis naturally tuck under you, not by squeezing, but by repositioning. It's not about forcing it here, it's about setting up your body to find that position on its own. Step 2, rebuild stability. Once the pelvis is reset, you've got to teach your core and hips how to hold that position. I like starting with a dead bug with pull-off press. You get both anti-extension and anti-rotation, which are huge for pelvic control. Then I'll move into something like a half kneeling R&T lunge. You've got a band pulling your front leg out of alignment, and your job is to fight using your glute, your core, and your hips to stay centered. It's a simple way to train the control your body's been missing. Step 3, reinforce it in movement. Now we take all that stability and apply it in motion. One of my favorites here is the step up to balance with a calf raise. You're working single leg control, glute drive, foot stability, all at once. If you're ready for a little more challenge, try a Bulgarian split squat on a foam pad. Now you're building control under load, forcing the pelvis to stay square while your hips move through its full range. And here's the best part. You don't need to stop lifting or change your whole workout. These can be your warm-up, your first set, or even part of your main training. You're not doing a separate corrective workout, just building better movement into the training you're already doing. Here's how I usually do it with clients. Start your session with step 1, something like the 90-90 hip lift. lift. Just 3 to 4 deep breaths is enough to get things repositioned. Use something like a dead bug or an RNT lunge right after. These are your primer sets, so they wake up your muscles you want working before you load anything heavy. Then bring all of that stability into your training. Step ups, Bulgarians, anything that challenges balance and control on one side. When you build this stuff into what you're already doing, that's when it actually sticks. You're not just doing mobility drills that look cool on Instagram. You're training in a way that actually fixes the issues long term. So if you've been stretching that same hip every day and still feel stuck, now you know why. It's not about forcing your body into more range. It's about giving it the stability it needs so it feels safe enough to actually use that range. If this helped you, save the video so you can come back to it. And if you want more breakdowns like this, or you're dealing with a different kind of pain, follow us and check out the rest of the channel, and feel free to drop your issues in the comments below. There's a full system behind every video we make, and we love helping you guys out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.